Liverpool beat 10-player Newcastle to open up top 4 race. Darwin Núñez and Cody Gakpo scored as Liverpool closed the gap on 4th to 6 points with a 2-0 win over 10-player Newcastle at St James Park on Saturday Night Football. Darwin Núñez and Cody Gakpo scored as Liverpool closed the gap on 4th to 6 points with a 2-0 win over 10-player Newcastle at St James Park on Saturday Night Football. Liverpool were put under the cosh by the hosts early on but quickly went 2-0 up against the run of play with goals from Núñez, 10, and Gakpo, 17. Newcastle goalkeeper Nick Pope was then sent off for denying a goal-scoring opportunity with a handball outside his box, 22. The England international will now miss next Sunday's Carabao Cup final. Undeterred by going a player down, Newcastle continued to look the most dangerous as Alisson kept out Allan Saint-Maximin's left foot strike with some help from the bar before Dan Burn and Fabian Schär missed gilt-edged chances with their heads from set pieces either side of the break. There was a minute's applause before the game for former Newcastle forward Christian Atsu, who was found dead on Saturday morning in the rubble of his home following the earthquake in Turkey, which took place nearly a fortnight ago. Liverpool have now done the double over Newcastle this season and remain the only team to have beaten them in the Premier League as they move up to 8th. The Magpies, meanwhile, are now on a 4-game winless run in the league ahead of a huge game at Wembley against Man United. Newcastle: Pope, 2, Trippier, 7, Schär, 6, Botman, 7, Burn, 6, Longstaff, 7, Joelinton, 7, Anderson, 6, Almiron, 7, Isak, 6, Saint-Maximin, 9. Subs: Dubravka, 7, Gordon, 6, Wilson, 5, Ritchie, 5, Murphy, 6. Liverpool: Alisson, 9, Alexander-Arnold, 8, Gomez, 7, Van Dijk, 7, Robertson, 7, Fabinho, 7, Bajcetic, 6, Henderson, 6, Sulla, 8, Núñez, 8, Gakpo, 8. Subs: Milner, 7, Firmino, 6, Elliott, 6, Hoda, 5. Player of the match: Allan Saint-Maximin. Liverpool were second best in the opening exchanges as Alisson denied Miguel Almiron with a big hand as the visitors struggled to cope with Newcastle's intensity. But it was the Reds that took the lead when Trent Alexander-Arnold picked out a wide-open Núñez in behind the Magpies' defense before he emphatically converted after 10 minutes to silence a raucous St James Park. How the teams lined up. Live Premier League table. Watch free Premier League highlights. Download the Sky Sports app. Please use Chrome browser for a more accessible video player. Newcastle remained on top, but it was Liverpool who struck next. Gakpo connected with Mo Salah's sumptuous dinked pass ahead of Pope to make it 2 goals in 2, having taken 6 games to score following his move from PSV in January. The game unraveled for Newcastle after that as Pope was sent off for a deliberate handball to deny Salah a goal-scoring opportunity, becoming the first goalkeeper in Premier League history to concede twice and receive a red card inside 22 minutes. Please use Chrome browser for a more accessible video player. Newcastle refused to give up as Saint-Maximin ran Liverpool's defenders ragged before seeing a left-footed effort tipped onto the bar by Alisson after half an hour. Burn then hit the bar with a header just before the break with a chance he probably should have scored from. The Magpies were still on top in the second half as Saint-Maximin dragged the team forward with a brilliant individual performance before Schär missed a free header from a corner, sending his effort wide of the post, with Liverpool looking frail at set pieces. Please use Chrome browser for a more accessible video player. Núñez tested Newcastle's stand-in goalkeeper Martin Dubravka with a low effort that he was equal to before going off with a shoulder injury. Joelinton was also taken off prematurely with an apparent hamstring strain, with Eddie Howe unwilling to take any chances ahead of Sunday's trip to Wembley. Diogo Jota was among the Liverpool players brought off the bench and could have scored on multiple occasions had his finishing been sharper. Newcastle also had a chance to pull one back late on through substitute Callum Wilson on the break, but he was denied by Liverpool's top performer Alisson. Liverpool, who have now ended a 3-game losing streak away from home, are hitting form at the right time ahead of a month of fixtures which includes their Champions League last 16 tie against Real Madrid and the visit of fierce rivals Man United in the Premier League. Please use Chrome browser for a more accessible video player. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp told Sky Sports, "Massive result, clean sheet, 2 wonderful goals, and space for improvement. I thought we did really well. The red card probably would have been a wonderful goal as well if Pope hadn't got his hand on the ball. Against 10 men we didn't react particularly well. Newcastle had nothing to lose anymore. You could see they're a top team with top character. They threw everything on the pitch. And we gave them too many set pieces. The most negative thing was that Darwin Núñez had to go off. We have to see how serious that is, hopefully not too much. We have to fight through these things. A third goal would have been extremely helpful, but we had to fight until the end. The relief of the 2-0, the red card, and all of a sudden one step less and the rhythm was gone. I wish we'd have done that better, but in the end I'm really happy we got it over the line. Diogo Jota could have scored. Bobby Firmino started really well and then lost 2 or 3 balls that pretty much gave them counterattacks. Getting through this is the next step for them. Virgil van Dijk, playing 90 minutes, was hard for him. All the rest was really good. Please use Chrome browser for a more accessible video player. Newcastle boss Eddie Howe told Sky Sports, "A lot happened in the game, a good start from us, and we had the first chance in the game. We conceded 2 goals, which is unlike us. I was disappointed with the goals. I thought we need to look back at them. Against these sorts of teams that's the last thing you want to see, especially with the scoreline. I feel really sorry for Nick Pope. It's a very difficult one. He's come out and slightly misjudged the ball. I suppose technically it is a handball. I don't know the rules on the red card. I thought it was on the angle with defenders retreating to our goal, but that was given. I thought the reaction to that sending off was brilliant from the team. I thought we stayed in the game and were competitive, we created chances, and I felt if we could get the next goal we had a route back into the game, but that never happened. I've had spells like this in my managerial career where you create chances and the goals don't come. But I back the players to come out of it. We've got too much quality not to." Newcastle winger Alan St-Maximin told Sky Sports, "It's a very bad day. I feel sad for Nick Pope because he tried to help the team. It's a bad red card for the team because he won't be able to play the Carabao Cup final. He helped us to be in that situation, so we need to support him and get behind him as a team. I think we played very well. We had the first chance with Miggy Almiron, and after that they scored straight away. It was painful, but we just kept going to try to create more chances. Even with 10 men, we kept playing very well. We still had many chances, so I think it's very positive to see how we can play with 10 men. Even though Liverpool aren't in the top positions at the moment, they're still a great team. They showed that today. I think we need to be focused for the cup game, but I'm very disappointed about this game. It's always important to win before an important game. The real positive is that even with 10 men, they're still playing in the Champions League. We played very well and created so many chances to come back. We can be very proud of that, because I know many teams in that situation wouldn't create the chances we created. I'm sure we can cause Manchester United a lot of problems." Newcastle's next game is their meeting with Manchester United in the Carabao Cup final, with the Magpies 1 game away from lifting their first major trophy in 68 years on Sunday, February 26. Live on Sky Sports, kickoff 4:30 p.m. Eddie Howe's side then returned to Premier League action at Manchester City on Saturday, March 4, kickoff 12:30 p.m. Liverpool's attention now turns to the Champions League, with Real Madrid visiting Anfield for the first leg of their last 16 tie on Tuesday, kickoff 8 p.m. Jurgen Klopp's side are then back to work in the Premier League on Saturday with a trip to Crystal Palace, live on Sky Sports, kickoff 7:45 p.m. Another Saturday, another chance to win £250,000 with Super 6. Play for free, entries by 3 p.m.